I believe this is where this pursuit first started about 25 minutes ago.
Right, started just after 6 o'clock. CHP, the California Highway Patrol, started pursuing this vehicle for not stopping at red and yellow lights and going excessive speeds. And as you can see, that car is still doing that. It's been doing it for the last 25 minutes or so, going on several different interstates and surface streets, evading police. And just a minute ago, we saw that car speed past other cars on the shoulder of the road as that one CHP pursued it.
Spent a lot of time on the shoulder there, now cutting across all lanes of traffic. This car has been zigzagging through traffic on the 10. It looks pretty good. We've been doing a lot of stories about the busy holiday rush, people coming back from their Thanksgiving holiday. At least on the 10 right now, both directions look, there is some volume here, but we don't see a lot of whoa, some close calls there. Another one as it passed a car on the right. We don't see large
It appears to be getting off at Garvey Avenue, which is right around the area where this pursuit began. It began southbound on Garvey from Holt just after 6 o'clock this evening. Police tried to stop that car for going excessive speeds, which it is still doing. We were told during the pursuit, this entire pursuit, they've been blowing through red and yellow lights, not stopping. There just appears to be that one CHP vehicle following closely right now.
Yeah, now at Mountain View on the 10, we've seen this car ranging anywhere from the HOV lane all the way over to the shoulder. And again, some really close calls. We saw one skim by a car there on the right, and there was another pursuing vehicle waiting to take part in this. We believe this is CHP still in the lead, but we're told that Baldwin Park Police were prepared to take this over. It just has not happened as of yet. We'll let the speed reset here, but this says 120. I don't think they're going that fast, but it looks like they are doing upwards of 100 miles an hour.
Well, and at one point it said they were going 120 miles per hour. At one point, Pomona police were also involved in this pursuit. They have now backed out. California Highway Patrol is the lead agency. Last they were seen at the 10 westbound approaching the Azusa area.
Oftentimes when we see speeds at this level, pursuing officers and agencies will back off out of fear that something catastrophic would happen. You're talking about speeds over 100 miles an hour, and one little thing goes wrong, it can be devastating. The reaction time, you have no room for error, and things can get haywire pretty quickly. And yet we still see a pursuing cruiser right there, right behind this vehicle. We're getting some interference on the radar, but 75 to 100 miles an hour now, still on the 10 express lanes, HOV lanes as they move through the San Gabriel Valley.
All right, that CHP cruiser appears to be keeping a safe distance, but has been able to stay on that car's tail during the duration of this pursuit, at least so far. They're now in the Alameda area, no, rather southwest San Gabriel Valley.
Yeah, still in El Monte now. 2 lanes in the HOV lanes right there, and I'm not sure if we could back out our shot a little bit just to see how many pursuing officers we have here in line. We've seen a couple. There looks like there's a second one in the left lane, and I can't see behind our graphics, but at least 2, and we saw a third get passed by this driver and other officers, and he is moving right now. This driver is going exceedingly fast in the express lanes. And I believe the original want, the reason this
143 miles per hour they just clocked there. So even if that's in the ballpark of what that driver is going, that is an extremely fast speed.
Right. Officers witnessed this driver going over 100 miles an hour. That was the beginning, the reason when they tried to pull this car over. And now you can add several charges on top of this dangerous driving, these dangerous speeds. As we approach the bottom of the hour, we do want to reset real quick and let you know you are watching Eyewitness News at 6 here on ABC 7, and the lights just got turned off. So now we have another crime here, trying to evade, trying to hide yourself and turn the lights off and get off at Garfield. This looks like collision with that driver, and they were able to get off and lose the lead officer in this pursuit with one headlight on. Might have knocked out one of the headlights. We'll see if one of the secondary officers was able to continue on. They have ditched the vehicle. It looks like it is rolling onto the shoulder now, looking for someone on foot.
Has bailed out of the vehicle, dodging in between those trees. It's difficult to see because it's so dark out there right now, but it looked as though somebody dove out of that car and tried to duck into those trees in this neighborhood.
Yeah, as we gain up on the camera here, we have the night sun from the overhead view, but right in this area here, there were some trees. You could see a shadow moving among the lighted areas, but it is very dark in this area. We did not see where this person went. The driver ditched the vehicle. It rolled into that fence there on the left of your screen. You can see it on the sidewalk right now, and it looked like it ran into that fence.
Up an embankment almost.
Yeah, and is this an officer who's pulled up, or is this just a vehicle?
Well, and there were at least 2 vehicles in close pursuit of this car. As soon as it exited, though, it didn't appear as though those cruisers followed it. Okay, we've got a police chopper overhead now. This all began about a half hour ago in the Baldwin Park neighborhood when police say this car was going excessive speeds. As soon as they began pursuing this vehicle, police say the car was blowing through red and yellow lights, not stopping for officers. At one point exceeded speeds of 120 miles per hour. We've been told that that was a black Jeep Cherokee, but it's difficult to see with the lighting out there.
I see some movement up by the house. If we can go back up to that house, you saw some movement up on the far porch. There's someone there. You see a shadow moving there right on the corner of the house. No, the other house, down at the corner. We saw someone outside right on the corner at where that lighted area is. We see the night sun there, right there. So there's someone on that porch. You can see a shadow moving right there. I don't know whether that's a resident checking something out or whether that has to do with the person who just bailed here. There was someone on this porch, likely just coming outside to see what's happening in your neighborhood. When you hear this commotion, we have the first responding vehicle right here. 2 officers now pulling up. We don't know what jurisdiction they are from, but finally getting here on the ground. It's a little difficult when resources are thin like this to try and lock down a perimeter to make sure this person can't escape. And you have all that time that has now lapsed after this came to an end, where this person could be blocks away by now.
Yeah, we did see a law enforcement helicopter overhead, so perhaps the helicopter has eyes on this person. You can see officers getting out of the vehicle, flashlights on, running across the street, perhaps being guided by officers in that helicopter.
Well, they're checking out the vehicle first that is parked up against that fence, or not parked, it's stopped up against the fence. And now we see the night sun kind of scanning the neighborhood. I don't know if they saw something or whether they're just hoping to find this needle in a haystack. One person at night, no idea where they are at this point, and maybe they'll start getting calls on 911 from residents who see someone running through their yard and trying to get away. But if we can talk about the maneuver this driver pulled, turning off their lights at the last second, veering across 5 lanes of traffic and getting off, so they lost that first pursuing officer. It would have been dangerous for them to kind of follow suit, and they were able to pull off the freeway, get out, and now make a run for it on foot.
Bailed out of that car as it was still moving. As you saw, the car stopped the embankment. That person ran across the street, immediately dodged into trees, and we've not seen that person since. Another vehicle responding here. So
yeah, moving
police
at
officers
speed.
are starting to get in on this situation.
We have seen several instances. It's something that we've now been trained to look for. We've seen drivers go beneath overpasses, and you see the vehicle roll out from beneath them, thinking that they're still in there, but they have bailed and let the vehicle just keep on going. And so it's something that catches your eye at this point. We've seen this before. Get out, let the vehicle roll, bail, and run. And in this instance, pursuing officers were nowhere to be found for several minutes, so it gives them a head start, and they could be hiding anywhere in this area.
And you can see this is a very residential area right off the freeway right there. You have to imagine there are a lot of people who have some sort of home security cameras, Ring doorbells that pick up and are motion sensitive. Perhaps they are seeing things on their Ring doorbells right now. At this point, you see a lot of officers in the area, but it's very dark in this area right now because the officers' flashlights are doing most of the work there.
And you hope that the airship overhead, the helicopter, has a FLIR system set up, that forward-looking infrared radar, to be able to see some hot spots. If someone's hiding in a bush, if someone's up in a tree or hiding in an alleyway. This is the video of the footbail. You can see they look like they might have dropped something in the middle of the road, and it's tough to follow them right behind that bush, and you see them hop a fence. So we'll slow-mo this down for you. The vehicle continues to roll. The person looks like they fell down, dropped something, picked it up, and ran over into these trees and bushes, and it looks like hopped a fence. So on the left side of your screen, this is a live look. These officers on foot now training their attention on an alleyway or a driveway between 2 houses. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see if they saw something, if they were told something. Maybe, again, the airship overhead might have that infrared radar to be able to see if there's the heat sensor of a body that is outside of a home and hiding somewhere, and that will make quick work of this. It's just a matter of whether they have that system in use.
And it appeared as though there was only one person that bailed out of that vehicle. We still don't know, though, if there were more people perhaps that stayed in the vehicle at the time. This was a pursuit that began just after 6 o'clock this evening in the Baldwin Park area when somebody was going excessive speeds, evading officers, blowing through red and yellow lights, not stopping. Took them on the 10 freeway westbound, right?
Yeah, westbound 10. This is now at Pomona and New Ave in San Gabriel where this is happening. This is the CHP. They believe that person ran into the backyard of a nearby home where they are still hiding. We don't know, they don't know whether that is still the case, but you can see them walking down another long driveway here, a fenced-in driveway with several homes, it looks like, on this property, and we'll see if someone has seen anything, whether they'll start knocking on doors to see if anyone saw anything. But this is the maneuver here on the right side, I believe. No, we're still seeing some dangerous maneuvers. This is still a ways away because they were in the left-hand lane,
Right.
number 1 or number 2 lanes when they turned their lights off.
Right, and then cut over 4 lanes of traffic. It quickly exited and bailed out of that car just after it got off the exit ramp. We do have word that CHP did check that vehicle as soon as they arrived on scene. There were no additional suspects believed to be in that vehicle. So right now they're just looking for that one person who bailed out of the vehicle and hopped over a fence and ran into some dark trees in the middle of a very residential neighborhood.
Yeah, you see that white car backing out of a driveway. Whether that is related, moving very slow. You don't want to kind of put just a resident on blast here on live television if that's not associated with this, which it doesn't appear to be, but you just never know whether someone saw the police response and decided to get out, whether they had an errand to run, or whether that was the suspect who had found a means to a car.
And you can see some officers running very quickly through that alleyway or down the street right there. Perhaps they see something. We're going to keep an eye on this and keep an eye on it, just see exactly what goes on. And we're going to continue to monitor this situation and sort of let you know what happens.
Yeah, as long as these officers, you can see CHP moving at speed, it's, again, we can't tell whether they know something or whether they will, are just looking as best they can, hoping that they find something here. But again, yeah, we will keep an eye on this and bring you any developments as they come in.
To some of our other top stories right now, a killer or killers remain on the loose tonight after a mass shooting at a child's birthday party.
copy on the hit. Give me a 30-second heads up if you don't mind. You mind giving me a 30-second heads up, or how long until our hit? Thank you. Thank you.
New Avenue. This started around 6 o'clock this evening, just ended about, 15 minutes ago in this neighborhood in San Gabriel.
And this driver pulling a dangerous pursuit to get away from pursuing officers, turning off his headlights in the left-hand lane, veering across all lanes of traffic, and they have someone in custody on the ground right now. So they do have someone in custody. It looks like this is about to come to an end. A man in a tank top being checked for weapons on his person, and CHP officers, their work pays off. They've been combing this area for the better part of 10-15 minutes on foot. This driver was able to get off the freeway without a tail, turning off those headlights, driving across all lanes of traffic. It was too dangerous of a maneuver for CHP officers to pull off, so he got off the exit, got out of his car once he had pulled off, letting his vehicle roll into a nearby fence, and has been hiding, but now the hiding is done.
Yeah, he bailed out of that moving vehicle, hopped a fence, dove between some trees and took off. He had a 2-3 minute lead easily from pursuing officers. They've been searching for him now in this very dark neighborhood off of the 10 freeway for at least 15 minutes or so. And it appears now, after they set up that perimeter, they were finally able to find him successfully.
And it looks like that red cap there on the ground there, that looks like what was dropped in the middle of the street once this driver fell upon exiting a moving vehicle, went back, picked it up, hopped that fence, and is now in custody. We believe this should be code 4, no further threat, and they have wrapped this thing up nicely. So this is now over. It looks like residents are now safe as this person is now in custody.
All right, we're going to check more with police about what could be happening now, and we'll check back with that and bring you the latest.
Thank you very much.